You weren't thinking about it every day anymore, and you weren't talking about it anymore. So why is it suddenly back on your mind? You thought you were over it. Welcome to Once in a Blue Moon. I'm your favorite faceless melanated mystic, guided by spirit and always in divine timing. You didn't land here by accident, so let's tap in and see what the cards have for you today, collective. Now, this reading is for somebody who genuinely believed they had moved on. Not somebody pretending, not somebody secretly checking pages, and not somebody actively holding on. You really thought you were past this. And then something happened, a memory, a song, a dream, a conversation, a random thought, and suddenly you're feeling emotions you thought were long gone. The first card we have is the Ten of Swords. And this wasn't a small disappointment. This was an ending, a painful ending, a chapter that changed you, a situation that forced you to accept something you didn't want to accept. And Spirit keeps showing me somebody saying, I never thought it would end like that. Because the Ten of Swords is the moment reality finally arrives. The moment you realize there's no fixing it, no undoing it, and no going back to how things used to be. And the next card we got, the Three of Swords. Now we're getting to the real reason this energy is resurfacing, because the wound may have healed, but the memory never disappeared. For some of you, this was a heartbreak. For others, betrayal, disappointment, rejection, loss, a friendship ending, a dream falling apart, something you genuinely hurted. And here's what Spirit keeps showing me. Somebody thinks healing means never thinking about it again, but that's not how healing works. Healing doesn't erase memories, it changes your relationship with them. Somebody needs to hear that, because you're judging yourself for still feeling something occasionally when really you're just human. Then the next card we have, the Chariot. And this is where the reading shifts, because despite everything that happened, you kept moving. You kept showing up, kept rebuilding, kept pushing forward. And the Chariot is victory through determination. And Spirit keeps showing me somebody who didn't listen to or didn't let their pain destroy them. And you may have cried, you may have struggled, you may have questioned everything, but you kept going. And that's why Spirit is highlighting this card. Because sometimes we become so focused on what hurt us that we forget how far we've actually come. Then the last card we have, the King of Wands. I keep calling them the Knights, the Kings, and the Kings, the Knights. This is the King of Wands. And this card is powerful because the King of Wands doesn't sit around waiting for the past to return. He focuses on where he's going. His vision, leadership, confidence, purpose, forward movement. This tells me you were stepping into a season where the pain is no longer the main character of your story. You are. For an example, imagine somebody who spent months recovering from a breakup. At first, every thought was about what happened, but eventually, the focus shifts. Now you're thinking about your goals, your future, your happiness, the next chapter in your life. That's what this feels like. The memory may still exist, but no longer controls the direction of your life. And I think that's why Spirit brought this reading out today. Not to remind you of the pain, but to remind you of your progress. Because when you look at these cards together, Spirit isn't saying you're still stuck. Spirit is saying, look how far you traveled since it happened. That's a completely different message, though. And if this reading is resonating with you, don't forget to like, follow, and subscribe so you don't miss the next message Spirit has for the collective. And if you'd like to access to exclusive content, special offers, and occasionally free readings, make sure you subscribe below. Now, how to move forward from all of this. Stop measuring your healing by whether you remember the pain. Measure it by how much power that pain still has over your decisions. There's a difference. Now, collective, in the comments below, let me know. What's something you thought would break you but ended up making you stronger in the long run? And I'll see you in the next one.